Delhi is witnessing extraordinary days. On one hand, we have temperatures going up to 50 degrees Celsius. On the other hand, we have peak power demand in the national capital crossing the 8,300 megawatt mark. This is for the first time in the history of Delhi when Delhi's peak power demand was recorded as 8,302 megawatt on Wednesday. At around 3 p.m. this reading was recorded, and since then, in fact today, the peak power demand is crossing 8,200 mark. Earlier, Discoms of the national capital anticipated that this summer the peak power demand will come close to 8,200, but it has not just crossed the 8,200 mark, but also has surpassed the 8,300 mark yesterday, which is an all-time record. When we talk about national capital, so national capital Delhi generates its own electricity, but that electricity is not enough for the demand. And this is why Delhi purchases electricity from different states. We are learning that Delhi is not receiving any sort of long power cuts, but if this demand will continue, then we can anticipate a situation like such where areas will be receiving cuts. Experts say that this particular demand is because of the air conditioners as well, because in total, if we talk about, so 30 to 50% of this demand is coming from the air conditioners. Of course, because of the kind of temperatures that are being witnessed in the national capital and also because of the heat waves, IMD has predicted that from Thursday onwards, which means that from today onwards, Delhi is going to get some sort of respite because of the western disturbance that is there and will have an impact in the national capital, and also because of the kind of winds that are coming from Arabian Sea, the northwesterly winds which will blow towards northwest. It is in fact the 13th consecutive day when the power demand of the national capital is crossing 7,000 megawatt mark. Till last year, we used to discuss that how Delhi is crossing 7,600 mark. In fact, this mark used to be the benchmark, and this mark used to be the highest power demand in the national capital. But this year, in 2024, not just the temperatures which have broken the record of last 79 years, but also the peak power demand of the capital city has broken all its previous records. Discoms are able to fulfill this particular demand, but then experts also raise concerns over the kind of demand that Delhi is witnessing nowadays. In fact, today the demand is more than 8,000 megawatt. 8,302 megawatt is an all-time record for the national capital. Everyone is anticipating that this mark will, in fact, the demand will not cross this particular mark. But you never know the kind of conditions that we are witnessing in the national capital, and in fact the kind of temperatures that we are witnessing in the national capital. There is a demand for water, there is a demand for electricity, and for every basic thing that is required in such conditions.